A major event organizer here in the Philippines has been catching attention for having slower than usual ticket sales for their latest event. That event in question is the Anime Cosplay Expo, ACX, and the organizer is Cosplay PH. Cosplay PH run five major events each year. Four are ticketed events, while the fifth one is a free admission run in partnership with a local shopping mall to, well, get people to go to the mall, basically. They also occasionally run small pop-up events, like they recently, like earlier this year, they've held a Genshin Impact mall event in partnership with MiHoYo. Now, news of an organizer having trouble selling out their show might not mean much. Admittedly, hot streaks, have to end at some time. But in the Philippine cosplay scene, there's a considerable amount of schadenfreude associated with Cosplay PH having slower ticket sales for ACX. And here's why. Over the past year, Cosplay PH has acquired a negative reputation with regards to their ability to run an event. More often than not, it seems that at a Cosplay PH event, something is going to go wrong, and it's going to upset and anger thousands of ticket holders. And that has happened at least 4 times over the course of the last year. And Cosplay PH, as an organizer, has been in business for well over a decade. When face-to-face physical events were allowed to run again here in the Philippines, Cosplay PH ran their Cosplay Mini Matsuri at December 2021. And that was a good event. There were crowd controls because of the pandemic. People were being careful. But overall, the reviews for that show were quite good. And unfortunately, then things went south for them when they ran their next big event, which was 2022's Cosplay Carnival. Long story short, Cosplay Carnival, they sold too many tickets for that event, and they wound up having a situation where thousands of congoers were queuing up for 3.5, 4 hours or more, trying to get inside to enjoy the show, enjoy the con. And many did not make it. Untold hundreds, if not thousands of attendees did not get inside. And those that were able to make it inside, they were so drained. Many of them were so drained and exhausted from having to stand in line for 4 hours in waiting rooms with no air conditioning, mind you. And it was a huge shit show right there. It was a huge shit show for Cosplay PH. Then scalpers hit their last 2 major events for 2022. That was Cosplay Mania and Cosplay Matsuri. Scalpers made out with thousands of tickets and were reselling them at 2 or 3 times the original price. And for the Philippines, having cosplay event tickets being scalped is a totally unknown experience. Scalping exists, mind you. Scalping exists in the Philippines, but for a cosplay event, unheard of. And it happened twice to Cosplay PH. Come 2023, Cosplay PH replaced their ticket agent with the goal of controlling scalping. And it looked like it worked for the most part. Tickets were readily available. They weren't sold out within minutes, within hours. But then the actual event happened, and then everything went to hell. That convention was Cosplay Carnival 2023. It was Cosplay PH's first major event for the year, and it was a sellout. It was a sellout, mind you, and it went straight to hell. Basically, attendees of Cosplay Carnival were harassed nonstop by very aggressive security. You're at the exhibitor booths looking up the stickers, looking up the art prints, trying to figure out what merch you want to buy. And then you get shooed away by the security because you're clogging up the lanes. You go to stand on one side to fix your wig and retouch your makeup a bit. You get shooed away by security because you're clogging up some space, right? You go sit down somewhere on one side to just take a rest, uh, take a breather for 5 minutes. You get shooed away. It was bad. It was really, really bad. People could not find anywhere to rest. The impression was that the security wanted you out of the building. And Cosplay PH took the brunt of the blame because, well, the guards were working for them at their event. Fast forward to July and the Anime Cosplay Expo. As of July 12, 2023, uh, Cosplay PH reports that day one tickets, 71.7% have been sold. For day two, a Sunday, 73.5% of all available tickets have been sold. And they also offer a 2-day ticket package, uh, which is 95.5% of available stock have been sold for that 2-day package. Now, mind you, those are pretty impressive sales numbers, but for Cosplay PH, they would have sold out uh, at least several days before the event's opening day. Now, with that being said, it is still possible that they will sell out or come close to selling out available ticket inventory by the time ACX begins. They said they have announced that tickets will still be available uh, for sale during the event itself, so long as there's stock to sell. And yeah, they could very well still sell out everything or come close to it. But like I said earlier, their slower than usual ticket sales has been met with a lot of schadenfreude from the local cosplay community, uh, simply because they have acquired a negative reputation uh, for in terms of running their own events. Now, to be fair to Cosplay PH, they have been in business for over a decade, and their track record before the pandemic has been overall pretty good. Uh, they have been able to build up a lot of FOMO, fear of missing out, for their events. Uh, it's just that, well, you run one bad event and people look at you differently. For Cosplay PH's case, uh, since face-to-face events resumed here in the Philippines, uh, they've had 4 events. By my own personal count, they've had 4 events where thousands of attendees were either greatly inconvenienced, such as due to scalping, or outright traumatized and angered because of issues that happened during the event itself. And these 4 were all ticketed events. Now, if they were free admission and the show was bad, at least you didn't pay for the ticket. You can just leave. But these 4 were ticketed events. Congoers bought them with a certain expectation of what entertainment they were going to get out of it, and that didn't happen. They were ripped off. Now, after the shit show that was Cosplay Carnival 2023, the organizer has been taking steps to make sure that ACX will be a smoother experience for their ticket holders. There will be designated rest areas for attendees. Security will have easy to read IDs in case they get too aggressive and start harassing people again. Cosplay PH has even set up a transportation service to shuttle attendees to and from uh, the nearest MRT stop in relation to the venue, right? Uh, and so they're making these steps to try and improve the fan experience for ACX. And they've probably already made a profit from current ACX ticket sales. It's just that because of the multiple disappointments with their events. People now look at their moves under that light, that negative light, right? For instance, the shuttle service. It costs more than taking the jeepney or the bus from the venue to the metro stop. There are similar routes compared to the shuttle service, the exclusive shuttle service they're offering. And you have to use an app, the Get Pass app, to pay for the fare for this exclusive shuttle service. And the latest reviews for Get Pass are negative on Google Play, if you look up the app on Google Play. So, why are they going to use a service which has been getting a lot of negative feedback as of late? And just last weekend, Cosplay PH hosted a small cosplay event at a bar in Makati. Those who went to the event had the opportunity to purchase ACX tickets at the original ticket price without the web service fees. So day 1 and day 2 tickets are selling for 399 pesos each, while the 2-day package is selling for 1,499 pesos. And that's because the 2-day package comes with additional swag. But them doing that led people to suspect that Cosplay PH was getting desperate in trying to sell tickets, and they organized this mini event specifically to move more tickets for ACX. And again, this is the kind of response which Cosplay PH will have to endure for some time, because they have acquired such a massive negative reputation in terms of how they're running their own shows. Admittedly, Cosplay PH does have its defenders. I mean, the company has been running cosplay-related events for over a decade, more or less without a hitch, right? They've had a pretty good track record before the pandemic, and that's what they're saying. Like, they just haven't been as nimble, adjusting to the realities of and challenges of running a face-to-face event in the pandemic era. But that being said, other organizers have hosted similar cosplay events, and they don't receive the amount of social media backlash which Cosplay PH has received since Cosplay Carnival 2022. That's like, from there, that was the start of when Filipino congoers' perception of this organizer went south, and pretty much stayed there, pretty much stayed sour. Now, if this weekend's Anime Cosplay Expo is run without any major issues that affects thousands of ticket holders, then yeah, if it's a good show, then Cosplay PH would probably be able to rebuild some of their reputation. How long before they, fully rebuild that reputation? Who knows? Who knows, really? Their brand of FOMO is still quite durable. And if you look at it, as of this, July 12th, over 70% of tickets for day 1 and day 2 have been sold. 95% of their 2-day ticket package has been sold. Those are very good numbers for a company that's been viewed as the drizzling shits for the past several months, really. At least several months. The ball is pretty much in Cosplay PH's own court. They've already made efforts to improve the fan experience as best as they can for ACX. Shuttle service provided, better designated rest areas, and security will have been instructed on how not to treat attendees, all that other stuff, right? Now, whether something else will go wrong during ACX, it's a different story. It's already happened with Cosplay Carnival 2022 and 2023. And honestly, I don't think I'll be surprised if some other monumental fuck up happens despite Cosplay Page's efforts to run a smooth ACX. The only way to find out is, come July 17 after the show is over. And if you've made it this far, thank you for your time. Thank you for uh, listening to what I have to say. If you're going to ACX, I hope you have a good time.